I'm Claire, and this is a 30-minute Hatha sequence designed around twists and the side body. So you're going to feel a little bit of strengthening and then lots of twisting side to side, which should help to loosen off any tightness through the torso and into the hips. So Hatha is a little bit slower than Vinyasa. We're going to be holding postures for a little bit longer and focusing more onto the alignment of the postures. To begin, we're going to start in a seated meditation. So find yourself into a comfortable seat, relax the hands down onto the thighs. Take a deep inhale through the nose and sigh out through the mouth. Close the eyes, close the mouth, and let the breath come in and out through the nose. Just taking this moment to be still, to settle into the rhythm of your breath. Take a scan through the body and notice anywhere that's not feeling 100%. You might be working with some niggles or areas of tightness, stiffness. Become aware of those areas. Make sure you honor that in your practice today. Check in with the breath and notice the natural rhythm. If it's a faster and shallower breath, see if you can slow it down and deepen it, breathing into the belly. And then check in with the mind. Notice how you're feeling right now. Try and switch off from any outside distractions, responsibilities. Allow yourself to really be here on your mat in the present moment. You might be working with a particular intention, and that could be physical. Maybe there's something you're working towards. Maybe you're here for a bit of headspace, a moving meditation, or maybe you're working with something on a deeper level. Whatever your reason, bring it to the front of your mind. And allow that to serve as your intention to keep you grounded into the present moment. Your mind will inevitably wander off, but when it does, come back to this intention. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Sigh out through the mouth. Drop the chin to the chest, let the head roll from left to right. Start to roll out the shoulders, wiggle the fingers, and blink the eyes open. We're going to come into a seated twist. So we're going to inhale, reach the hands high. As you exhale, rotate towards your right thigh. Drop the left hand onto the thigh and right hand either to the floor behind you or maybe to the lower back. As we inhale, we lift up through the crown of the head, and exhale, rotate towards the right. Try and keep the chin in line with the center of the chest so we're not overextending through the neck. So we inhale, lift up through the crown of the head. Exhale, feel that twist through the torso. One more breath on this side. On your next inhale, come to center, reach the hands high. Exhale, rotate to the left. Right hand to left thigh, left hand either to the floor behind you or to the lower back. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, rotate. Noticing if you have more rotation towards one side or the other. Final breath. This time coming back to center. If you're on a brick, you're going to release it. We're going to roll forwards and find our way into all fours. So you're going to stack your wrists underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. We're going to move into cat-cow. So we inhale, lift the tailbone, roll through the spine, roll the shoulders away from the ears, lift the head. Exhale, drop the tailbone, round out through the back and drop the head down. And again, inhale, rolling through, roll the shoulders away from the ears, start to lift the head, look to the ceiling. Exhale, rounding out. So as you move through, notice how the spine feels. Notice if you can articulate through each individual vertebra. And notice how the muscles of the back are feeling. Are they quite stiff or are they feeling quite mobile? One more full round. Coming back to neutral. From here, we're going to step the feet backwards into a high plank position. So again, the shoulders are still above the wrists and we're pressing the floor away with the hands, so we're starting to round out through the upper back. Squeeze your glutes here and we want to start to lift up through the core. So feel a lift at the base of the pelvis. So it's pelvic floor engaging. You want to think that there's a lift happening from the pelvis up towards the belly button. We call this Mula Bandha in yoga. Start to lift up and in below the belly button, almost as if someone has their hands on your waist and they're giving you a gentle squeeze. So this is TVA, transverse abdominis, part of your deeper core, but we call it Uddiyana Bandha. One final breath. Exhale, you're going to soften your knees, send the hips up and back, finding downward facing dog. So we're going to just walk out through the feet here in our down dog, finding a stretch down the backs of the legs, and you might choose to send the hips side to side. So getting more of a stretch down one leg and then the other. Take one more round of breath. And then from here, inhale, roll forwards, find your high plank position. This time we're coming into side plank, Vashisthasana. So you're going to bring your right hand into the center of the mat. You're going to roll onto the outside edge of your right foot, inside edge of your left, and lift the left hand high. Now make sure you're lifting your hips here and you're pressing the floor away with that bottom hand. You might choose to stack the feet one on top of each other, or maybe you're going to add a bit more challenge and you're going to lift the left leg. Make sure you're breathing in and out through the nose. Final breath. Lowering the left foot, lowering the left hand, come back to high plank. So just stabilize here. Feel your core engage and notice the difference between your right side and your left. Hopefully the right side is feeling a little bit more energized. Coming into second side. Left hand comes into the middle of the mat, rolling onto the outside edge of left foot, inside edge of the right foot, lift the right hand high, and again we lift the hips. Now you might be keeping the feet as they are, you might stack the right foot on top of the left, you might choose to lift the right leg high. Again, steady with the breath, keeping the hips lifted, and lowering the right foot, lowering the right hand, coming back to your high plank. Press the floor away, feel your core engage. And as you exhale, bend the knees, send it back to downward facing dog. Again, you can walk out through the feet here if that feels good, or you might start to find stillness. Don't feel that you have to straighten your legs. You can always soften your knees if you feel that that's better for you. Just here for one more breath. Look forwards. You're going to start to tiptoe your feet forwards towards your hands. Once you reach your hands, make sure your feet are about hip width apart. Soften your knees, grab onto opposite elbow, and take a sway from side to side for ragdoll. Really allow the weight of the head to drop down. Letting the torso drop down onto the thighs. Coming to hang through the center, release the grip of the elbows, nod the head yes, shake the head no, take circles in one direction and then the other. From here, you're going to soften your knees, roll up through the spine, and head is the last thing to come up. When you reach the top, come and stand to the front edge of your mat. Bring your big toes to touch, heels are slightly apart. Lift your toes up and spread them wide. Roll the shoulders up, back and down, reach the fingertips to the floor and close your eyes. So root down through the feet, but lift up through the crown of the head. Feel your kneecaps lift and your thighs engage. Drop the tailbone, but again we feel those 2 points of lift through the core. Mula Bandha at the pelvic floor, Uddiyana Bandha just below the belly button. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Sigh out through the mouth. Close the mouth. Keep the breath through the nose. You've got the option to engage your Ujjayi breath here, or just keep it a deep belly breath. We're going to take it into some half sun salutations. So blinking your eyes open, take an inhale, sweep the hands high, look towards the thumbs. As you exhale, soften the knees, fold forwards, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, hands to the shins, look forwards, lengthen the spine, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the hands high, look to the thumbs. Exhale, press the hands to heart center. And again, inhale, sweeping high. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hands to shins, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the hands high, look to the thumbs. Exhale, this time straight down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Step the feet back, find a high plank position, and press back, finding downward facing dog. Again, you might choose to have bent knees here, so you can tilt the bottom of the pelvis up to the ceiling, so you get more of a stretch down the backs of the legs. We're not here for too long, just 2 more breaths. Press the floor away with the hands, send your hips high. And then you're going to pick up the right foot. You're going to squeeze the knee towards the chest, look forwards, plant the foot between the hands, drop your back knee, untuck the toe. We're going to inhale, sweep the hands high, keep the hands shoulder width. Exhale, press the hips forwards. Now that front knee wants to be stacking just above the front ankle. This is Anjaneyasana. Inhale, reach up and back. Exhale, press the hips forwards. 2 more breaths. From here, we're going to bring the hands to prayer at heart center. Take an inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, you're going to rotate towards your front thigh and hook the outside edge of your left elbow to outside edge of right knee. Press the palms together. We're aiming to get the thumbs towards the sternum. Now you've got the option to stay here, or you might choose to tuck the back toe and then lift the back knee. Again, we might stay here, or we might choose to open the arms out. That's going to bring you a little bit deeper into that twist. Option again, if the shoulders are feeling warm, you can start to bring it into a bind. So I'd recommend starting with the half bind, taking the right hand behind the back to the front of your left hip and using that to open through the chest, so you're taking the twist a little deeper. If that feels okay, you might choose to take your left hand underneath your left thigh and see if you can hook your fingers together and come into your bind. Taking your final breath here. If you're in the bind, you're going to gently release. Everyone's going to bring their hands down towards the floor, firm up through the feet, so pressing the right foot down. If you haven't already, you're going to tuck the back toe and lift the back knee. We're going to look forwards, sweep the arms forwards. We're coming up into a crescent lunge, high lunge. Again, your front knee is stacking above your front ankle. Take a deep inhale, reach up through the fingers. As you exhale, twist the torso towards that front leg and open the arms out. Inhale, sweep the arms back through center. Exhale, twist. Inhale through center. Exhale, twist. 1 more, inhale. Exhale. From here, we're going to plant the hands down to the floor, step it back into a downward facing dog. And if you feel like you need to take a little wriggle out here, you can. And we're going to come onto second side. So we're going to pick up the left foot, squeeze the knee towards the chest, look forwards, plant the foot between the hands, drop the back knee, untuck the toe. Inhale, sweep the hands high, keeping the hands shoulder width apart. Exhale, hips press forwards. Again, left knee above left ankle. Inhale, reach up and back. Exhale, press forwards. Inhale, reach up and back. Exhale, press forwards. One more breath like this. Bringing the hands to prayer at heart center. Take an inhale, think about lifting out of the pelvis, then rotate towards that front thigh, hooking the outside of the right elbow to outside of left knee, pressing the palms together, looking up over the left shoulder. Again, option to stay here, or you're gonna tuck the back toe and lift the back knee. Option to open the arms out to move deeper. And again, we've got the option for the bind. So we might take the left hand behind the back to the front of your right hip. You're gonna use that as traction to move you deeper into your twist. If this feels good, you might take the right hand underneath that left thigh, hook the fingers, move deeper into the twist, finding your bind. Final breath here. If you're in the bind, you're going to gently release. Everyone's going to place their hands either side of that front foot. If you haven't already, tuck the back toe, lift the back knee, press firmly down through the feet. Inhale, look forwards and reach the hands all the way up for your crescent lunge. So finding your position here. Take another deep inhale. Exhale, twist towards your front thigh, open the arms out to find your twist. Inhale, reaching up through center. Exhale, rotate. Inhale through center. Exhale, rotate. One more time. Placing the hands down to the floor, stepping back into a downward facing dog. From here, we're going to take it into dolphin. So look towards your hands and step them a little bit closer together. You're going to drop your forearms down to the floor. Now, we're going to press the floor away with the forearms so we're not sinking down into the shoulders. Feel free to have a soft bend in the knees here, but make sure you're shifting the pelvis up towards the ceiling. You might stay here, or we might add in dolphin rocks. For the rocks, we're just going to shift the weight forwards towards the hands and then backwards towards the feet. Forwards towards the hands, backwards towards the feet. Just a few more like this. Bringing a little bit of heat into the shoulders. Final time. And then everyone's going to look to the hands. Step the hands a bit wider, maybe one at a time or both together. Press up into downward facing dog. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Sigh out through the mouth. And again, deep inhale through the nose. Sigh out through the mouth. Take an inhale, lift the right leg high. Exhale, squeeze the knee towards the chest. Look between the hands. Plant the foot between the hands. You're going to lower the back heel. And you're going to windmill up, find warrior two. So we want to have that front knee stacking above the front ankle. Reach the fingers in opposite directions and look out over that front hand. You should be feeling some heat building up into the legs, particularly that front thigh. Just one more breath here. And then we're going to straighten that leg. You're going to heel toe the back foot forwards, and we're coming into triangle. So flipping the hands, you're going to reach forwards with the right hand and backwards with the hips. When you can't go any further, you're going to rotate. So right hand down, left hand high. Look up towards your left fingertips. Rolling left side of the torso backwards. Now you've got the option here. We can add on a little bit more strength work into the side body. For this one, you're going to reach your right arm so it's parallel to the floor. Already you're going to feel a little bit of a shake and engagement through your obliques, the side of your abs. Option to make it more intense by reaching that left arm up and over the head, making train tracks with the arms. One more breath. Open the arms back out. Look down, windmill backwards, reverse triangle, Viparita Trikonasana. Right hand reaches up, left hand is down the back leg. Feel that stretch down the right side of the torso where we just worked. One more breath. Windmill the hands onto the hips. We're going to square the hips towards the front edge of the mat. We're going to bump the back foot forwards. So you might find that you need to take your feet a little bit wider. Imagine there are headlights on your hip bones and they're pointing straight forwards. Now right hand is moving to the lower back, left hand is reaching high. We're going to inhale to reach up. Exhale, you're hinging at the hips, but also taking a slight rotation as you drop the left hand either to the shin, the foot, the floor, or you might choose to take a brick on the inside of that front foot. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, rotate the torso to the right. So you can keep the hand onto the lower back, or if it feels okay in the shoulder, you might float that hand up towards the ceiling. The way to test this is you want to keep the sternum facing towards the side of the room so that the hand is in line with the shoulder, and it's not that the shoulder is pointing to the floor and the hand is reaching behind us. So you want the rotation to happen predominantly in the torso, not so much into that shoulder. One more deep breath here. As you exhale, lowering the right hand down towards the floor. Now, if the hand doesn't quite reach the floor, you have a few options. You might choose to take the hands onto the hips and come up a little higher, or you might take your hands onto your bricks either side of that front foot. So this is Pyramid Parsvottanasana. Take an inhale, lengthen through the spine. As you exhale, think about drawing your right hip backwards. That's going to bring the hips into alignment. And then think about slightly shifting both hips backwards, so shifting the whole pelvis back. Take another deep inhale, lengthen the spine, and exhale, maybe folding a little deeper over that front leg. Now we're not trying to get our forehead to our knee. Instead, we're trying to lengthen both sides of the torso. You should be feeling a deep stretch down the back of your right leg in your hamstrings. But there should also be a little bit of sensation coming down the back of the left leg. Final breath here. Soften into your right knee, plant your hands flat to the mat, step back into downward facing dog. We're going to take all of that onto left side. So inhale, lift the left leg up, draw the knee towards the chest, plant the foot between the hands, lower your back heel, and windmill up, find your warrior two. So again, we're stacking front knee above front ankle, bending deep into that front knee so we feel the work into the front thigh. Look out over the front hand, reach your fingers in opposite directions. Keeping that slow, deep breath in and out through the nose. And then straighten the front leg, heel toe the back foot forwards, flip the hands, we're reaching forward to that left hand, back to the hips. When you can't go any further, rotate, left hand down, right hand high. Now we want to make sure we're not collapsing into that left side. Instead, we want to think about two long sides of the torso. If you are finding you're collapsing, I'd recommend taking this optional extra to find the work in the obliques. So we're going to lift the left arm up so it's parallel to the floor. And we're going to take the right arm up and over the head. Make sure you're not turning the torso towards the floor. We're keeping that rotation, finding the work down the sides of the torso. One more breath. Open the arms out, look down. Reverse triangle, left arm reaches up, right hand down the back leg. Stretching out that left side that just worked. One more deep inhale here. Exhale, windmill the hands to the hips. We're coming back to that revolved triangle. So we're going to try and square off the hips to front edge of the mat. So we'll need to bump the back foot forwards and walk left foot out ever so slightly. Again, think about those headlights on the hips pointing straight forwards. Left hand comes to lower back, right hand reaches high. Take an inhale to lift, lengthen. Exhale, hinge, and we fold. Take a slight rotation. Right hand can come to the shin, the foot, the floor, or a brick on the inside of that left foot. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, rotate through the torso. Again, if it feels good, you can just keep your left hand onto lower back, or we're going to float the left hand up to the ceiling. making sure we're trying to find the rotation from the sternum, from our torso, from our rib cage, not from the shoulder. Think about pressing down through that right hand, rotating around the axis of the spine and reaching up with the left fingertips. One more breath. Lowering left hand down to the floor, or maybe coming to the hips or to bricks as we find our way into Pyramid Parsvanasana. Take an inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, draw your left hip back and slightly nudge the right hip forwards. Then we're going to shift the pelvis backwards ever so slightly. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, maybe fold a little deeper. So finding the stretch down the back of the left leg predominantly, but you're probably feeling some sensation down the back of the right as well. With every inhale, think about lengthening the spine. Exhale, can you fold a little deeper from the base of the core? One more breath. Softening into the front knee, planting both hands down to the mat, stepping back into a downward facing dog. Have a little walk off, a little wriggle here. And then we're going to add a twist into our down dog. So softening the knees if the hamstrings are still feeling a little tight. Press through both hands equally. From here, take an inhale and shift the weight into your left hand ever so slightly. Come up onto the fingertips of the right hand. You could stay here, or you might take the right hand and place it underneath the face. This might be as far as you go, or you may take that right hand and take it to the outside of your left ankle. Once you have a grip of that ankle, you can start to take a twist and look underneath the left armpit. One more breath. Replacing that right hand, recentering the weight, we'll take it onto second side. Take an inhale, shift the weight into your right hand. Come up onto the fingertips of the left. Again, you might stay here, maybe underneath the face, or maybe to the outside of your right ankle. Once you have a grip, pull on that hand and look underneath the right armpit. One more breath. Placing the hand back. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Sigh out through the mouth. From here, we're going to drop the knees and take a child's pose. So big toes touch, knees wide, reach the hands out in front and drop the head. Just taking a few moments here, allowing the weight of the body to drop down towards the floor. Rolling up to center, you're going to shift your hips over to one side and send the legs out in front. So as we start to wind down, we're going to come into a Paschimottanasana, forward fold, just to feel a little bit more balance through the body. So send the legs straight out in front of you and sit up as tall as you can. If you struggle to sit high on the pelvis, you might want to take a brick. Take it behind the pelvis, sit up onto it, and then wriggle forwards and soften the knees. This will help just to find a little bit of lift through the lower back. From here, we're going to take an inhale, reach the hands high. Exhale, reach forwards, and then drop the hands down. Just softening the head forwards towards the legs. Don't worry too much if you're rounding out through the back. As long as you're feeling a stretch down the backs of the legs and a release down the back of the torso, then that's okay. Two more breaths here. Rolling up to center. From here, you're going to shift your hips forwards and you're going to roll down onto the back. So as we come down onto the back, you're going to draw your right knee into the chest and extend your left leg out long. Take your left hand onto the outside edge of right knee and you're going to draw it across the body. Extend your right arm out to the side and look out over the right shoulder. Just feeling a gentle twist through the lower back. Not putting too much effort into this, just releasing into it. Take a deep inhale to the right side of the torso. Exhale, can you soften a little deeper into this twist? Final breath. Rolling back to center, we're going to swap sides. So left knee comes into the chest, extending that right leg out long. Right hand comes to the outside edge of the left knee, left hand out to the side. As you exhale, draw the knee across the body to right side to feel the twist. Take an inhale, breathe into the left side of the torso. Exhale, soften, maybe looking out over the left shoulder. As much as possible, releasing here, allowing gravity to do the work for you. From here, rolling back to center, extending the arms and the legs out, finding Shavasana. Allowing the weight of the body to drop down into the mat. Letting go of any control of the breath. Allowing both the mind and the body to come to rest. Start to deepen the breath. Wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes. Maybe stretch the arms overhead and take a full body stretch. Maybe hug the knees into the chest and take a little rock and roll from side to side. From here, rolling to the right side and pushing up to a comfortable seated position, keeping the eyes closed. Once you're seated, bring the hands to prayer in heart center. Take an inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, bow the head down towards the prayer. Take a moment to notice how you feel, both mentally and physically. Come back to your intention, the reason that brought you to the mat today. Take the thumbs, the space between the eyebrows, the third eye. Practice, and all is coming. Namaste. Thanks guys, hopefully you enjoyed that side body and twist focus hatha. I'll see you on the mat again soon.